What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? Your buddy Big Johnny G from Two Gun Pixie Presents Legendary Gaming is back again with another Midday Monologue. How's it going, everyone? Just trying out my new little camera holder here. Trying to get everything just right. Alright, that's good enough. Alright, so like I said, welcome to Midday Monologue. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G. And I did have a thought that I wanted to bring to everyone today. And I was going through my games. Actually, I was specifically going through one of the games I have, Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu. Let's try that again. Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu. The reason I was thinking about this is while I was going through it, I was thinking about regular Pandemic. Now, I own Pandemic, and I also own On the Brink. I believe that was the first sequel for Pandemic. It's the second edition of Pandemic that I have. And one of the things that I like about the Brink expansion is the fact that it adds a fifth player. Now, normally it's a 4-player game, but it does add the fifth player option. And what I really dig about this is that the fifth player can play as the bad guy. He is going around, or she, and they are causing these outbreaks of diseases to happen. So while you're trying to stop the outbreaks, you also got to try to stop this person. And I really like the way it handles the fifth player option, or as I call it for this conversation, the fifth player shift. And I call it that for a very specific reason. Don't bother looking it up. As far as I know, I created that phrase, so you're not going to find it anywhere. What I mean when I say fifth player shift is that a game that normally plays up to 4 players has a fifth player that can come into the game, and it changes the game. Pandemic, was by Z-Man Games, along with one other game in my collection. I only have 2 that do this, and the other game is by Eagle Griffin Games, and it's called Daedalus Sentence. Both of these games play up to 4 players normal, but you can have a fifth player optional, and if you do that, the fifth player is the bad guy. In Pandemic, like I said, they're the guys, the girl, the person going around causing all these diseases and sicknesses to outbreak all around the world. While in Daedalus Sentence, the fifth player is playing the alien warden of the space prison that you're all trapped on. So that player gets to control the alien movements, the shifting of everything. I really like that because it changes the dynamics of the game incredibly. We go from a 4-player optional game, 4-player cooperative game. Well, it's optional up to 4 players, right? You can play 2, you can play 3, you can play 4. So you go from this 4-player cooperative game to a 5-player one versus all game, and that changes the dynamics of the game incredibly. I love it. I think it is one of the best fifth player rule mechanics I've ever seen in games. I really hope that Z-Man Games does a sequel to Reign of Cthulhu, which mirrors in a sense the Brink expansion for the regular Pandemic game. I hope that they bring in a fifth player option for Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu that will allow the fifth player to play the cultists. That would be really interesting. I think, and I wish, more cooperative 4-player games did this. I think, if you have a cooperative 4-player game, and it's an open hand cooperative game. There are some cooperative games, like Osprey Games is the Lost Expedition, where though it's a cooperative game, the players are keeping their hands secret from each other, and they're not specifically talking about the cards that they have in their hands as far as anything goes, especially though how it's going to advance the game and get them to win. Now, if you're not dealing with that, and you're just dealing with a purely cooperative game where the players aren't keeping anything secret from each other whatsoever, I see very little reason why this mechanism can't be made to work for more games. It's amazing. Changes everything about the game. If you haven't played a game like this, or maybe you have played Pandemic or Daedalus Sentence, but you haven't played the 5-player option, do it, because it's going to change the game so much. So that's why I call the fifth player shift, and that's why I call it, because it shifts literally the game from being cooperative to versus all, but it also shifts the way the game is played. Because in these games there's a little bit of an AI that the board has that you're fighting against, and that gets completely removed, and it's not more or less to one degree or another randomized. Now it's in control of a thinking, tactical human being. what a huge difference it makes. It makes a difference not only in the fact that there's now a 5th player bad guy, but it completely, in some cases, changes the way the 4 hero players are going to be handling the game. Beautiful mechanism. 5th player shift. More games really need this. Why they don't, I don't know. But those are the only 2 games that I know of. Both of them are already in my collection. But if you know of another 4-player game that has this 5th player option, please leave a comment, because I'm dying to know what it is. I'd love to try the game out, maybe add it permanently in my collection. So there you go. That's what I call the 5th player shift. So what do you think about games that do that? Do you think there's enough of them? Have you played a game like that? Leave it in the comments. Let us know. Start talking to us. I'm your buddy. I'm not going to ignore you. Not for too long. As soon as I notice that there's a comment, I'll go check it out. So let us know. All right, so, and don't forget, Two Gun Pixie, we're on Facebook. We just hit 700 on Facebook. This afternoon, actually, just before I came out for my lunch break, I noticed we had 700 on the Two Gun Pixie Facebook page. So thank you very much, everyone, for having us hit 700, and let's make the next 300 happen and hit 1,000 on that. Let's make this happen. We're also on Twitter, and you can also find Two Gun Pixie on Instagram, and right here, obviously, on YouTube. If you like this, please give us a thumbs up. And don't be afraid to share this at all. I love it when you all share my videos. It really does my heart good. And don't forget to subscribe. All right, so I'm your buddy, Big Johnny G. Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. And my friends, I am out of here.